Hello, welcome to Win Some Loosemore. My name is Dieter Loosemore and you join me for a mechanisms video where I try and explain some of the terms that we use for how games work. We started talking last time about tile laying or tile placement in games and kind of that core question of which tile do you choose and where do you want to put it as being the central idea within most tile laying games, but I mentioned that there are a few different styles and categories of tile placement games that exist, and so I want to talk about the first one today, not first by any ranking or anything, just the one that I think of first, and I can only really think of this as being dominoes. That's the type of placement that I'm talking about. Dominoes, if you're, I don't know how to play a game of dominoes as such, but from what we did as kids and what I understand of them, you are matching like sides. So a domino will tend to have two different numbers on it, 1 and 6 or 2 3s or whatever it might be, and you're placing them out on the table and you need to match the number that's gone before, I believe. And so this is what I mean for some of the games that I'll be talking about, to give you an idea of other games that use this mechanism. And this is the kind of core idea of matching sides. This could be with a square tile, this could be rectangle, this could be hexagonal, it could be any shape really, but usually flat sides coming against each other. This is really challenging the question of where do I place this tile for whatever the purpose of the game is. And the first example I'm going to use for this is the very popular game Carcassonne. I mentioned it before, in which you don't get a choice of which tile you're drawing blindly, but as soon as you've seen the tile and seen what's depicted on it, you have to try and place it somewhere, and roads can't just start out of nowhere. You need to connect it to an existing bit of road, or the castles, the strongholds, whatever they're called. You can either cap one off or continue building it round. There are these little walls or shields in to denote different things, and you can build them up, and you have to match for it to work. You can't just place whatever you want wherever you want. You can't have half of a field in the middle of a stronghold. It needs to match at least one of the sides, and so this works really well, I believe, because the idea of things being the same or different is something we learn as very young children. It's one of the first things that we're taught with shapes and colours and things. Is, I don't know if you had the same kind of thing as a child, but those kind of plastic blocks of various shapes and holes in some kind of crate thing, and you have to match it up. And so there's just this learning process that goes on with very small children of these things go together, these things don't. And so when introducing people to games, why Carcassonne is such a popular game, and such a popular game that new people can play, is yes, there's strategy, yes, there's rules, yes, there's scoring. You're putting down meeples to trigger off scoring for when you complete roads and the size of different strongholds, and all these, there's scoring going on. So there is a strategic and tactical element to it, but the core mechanism, the core function of the game is something so, not innate, but so familiar from such a young age that it's essentially innate within us, that I need to match things, and this side goes with that side, so I put it there, cool. So the question of where do you place this isn't this grueling task, but actually there's only two places this could go. Now out of those two choices, where do I want to put it? Or there's a few places and it doesn't really matter, there's no strategic value to any of them, so let's just put it down and place a marker, a meeple down to do something else. And so it's just this really lovely, simple, accessible thing. I don't really have to teach how the game works, I only have to really teach how the scoring works. Another game I played recently that's a little bit heavier but uses this same thing is called, I'm going to get it wrong, Small Islands. I keep wanting to call it Tiny Islands, it's Small Islands. And again, this uses you have to match the sides, it's square tiles, but you do get a bit of choice now of where the tiles go, and you're building out these islands to achieve different scoring cards, which are secret, and so you're going after different things to different people, and then there's an exploration phase and then a scoring phase where you're placing down houses to score different things. So it's a bit more complex, But again, at the heart of it, the tile placement side of it is exactly the same as Carcassonne, and for the explanation of this, the same as Dominoes, is does this side match that side? Yes, good, I'll put it there. That's where I can put it. That's the rule of where I can place. Is this domino-esque? Do they match or do they not? What games do you know? What games do you love that use this, that take this and add something to it, or the pure kind of Carcassonne simplicity? Do you play Dominoes? What are the rules? Please tell me. I don't know. Am I completely wrong with this? Who knows? Do tell me if you know in the comments below. But yeah, what are your favourite games with this? Do you like it? Do you not? All the normal questions, stick them in the comments below. It's great hearing from you guys. If you want to get in contact with me in between or see what I'm up to, do follow me on social media if you don't already. Just search Win Some Loosemore and you will find me, and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you stay updated when I put out new things. But until then, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with another tile placement video at some point. I hope you join us for it. Thank you for watching. I've been Dieter for Win Some Loosemore. Goodbye.